right, guys. Welcome back to Whispers from the Void. I'm Evan.
And I'm Phil Divides for the Intimates. Thanks for tuning in, folks.
Today we have an awesome one for you. Another fellow Vox&Hops head doing big things. I've seen his stuff, and I can tell you right now, it looks way better than ours. So he's already like 10 tiers up there. He's got like voice clips and shit. And I look at it and I'm like, man, what the fuck? I literally was I was listening on my phone and I saw it on Facebook and I was like, God damn it, Grayson, what the fuck? Like, I've been in this game for over a year and I'm like, we're shit. So whatever. We have Grayson, the host of Beans and Breakdowns, with us today. He's an old family friend. We're happy to have him.
I'm so happy to be here with you guys. And that's not true. I don't know how to do any of that. That is the benefits of having a tech-savvy wife. Yes. I am secret. Not the social media guru. That is... I just ask the questions. I'm like the jolly ginger fucking face on the podcast, and my wife is like... She handles Instagram and all those fancy clips, and...
Yeah, You bring the beans, and she's the breakdowns.
Yeah, she's who keeps me from having a breakdown. That's kind of that's where we got the name. No, it's great. It's great to be a part of a great team. I'll just say that.
Me and Phil, I feel like are a great team. We could do great things, but we're so lazy.
Yes, we are.
We're just like, we should do this, and then we don't talk about it again for like 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Wait, did we talk about that?
Dude, the amount of times we have great ideas. We literally do. We have great ideas. Yeah. We put shit together, and then we just go, hey, remember when we talked about that? Whatever happened with that? And then,
it's just natural progression. You just like the things that stick, and then what filters out, it's lost in the void. And then sometimes it'll whisper at you.
Yeah.
It's lost. There's the name.
That's right where we got the name.
Branding.
Yeah. Yeah. We're just endlessly talking and just hoping that people listen.
Yeah.
Dude, listen, people really, like, I know people listen, because when we started talking about is hot dog a sandwich, it was like out of nowhere, as everybody had an opinion. That was like the gateway.
If you're dealing with anyone in the metal community, everyone has an opinion, and it's always right.
Always
exactly.
Right. Always.
Yeah. Except when
I'm
it's
always right.
Except when it's right.
Yeah. Except when it's right. Dude, the metal community, I'm going to vent real quick, but it's like when we were starting out, and I don't know how you feel about it, but it's like, dude, if we didn't have, like, we have Vox&Hops attached to us to a degree because we do the reviews and things like that. So, like, when I was first reaching out to people to be like, dude, I love your stuff. We'd love to have you on, whatever. Like, dude, and it was like emails, I like did emails out to, like, their people or whatever. And, dude, the amount of either no responses or, like, people just messaging me back going, what do you guys have, like 10 listeners? I'd be like, 11. Thank you. Because, dude, we really did.
11.
Like, we're just
boom, roasted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, we're the double digits.
We are the double digits. We are the double digits.
I definitely know how that feels, because before I launched, I basically did a big push where I wanted to have basically 6 to 10 episodes completely finished, like recorded, finished, and then I could just release them. I knew that I wanted to have a backlog because I'm a person that stresses out about like deadlines and things. So I didn't want that pressure. My wife has like insane OCD, so she was helping me kind of schedule things because I'm horrible at time management. And so basically I just was throwing shit at the wall and seeing what stuck. And so, the worst thing that somebody could say to me was no. So I was just hitting up everybody and their cousin and then their like second and third cousin to be like, hey, I'm having a podcast. You listen to like, Marilyn Manson, you want to come on the podcast? Like, it was pretty much that. And then through like networking, like when, people were like, oh, fuck, this is like a cool idea, like, you know, let's do something. And then they would give me names and tell people tell me who to reach out to. And also, you know, people were getting excited, which was very encouraging, because I was just like, I'm in the pandemic. I don't really know what the fuck I want to do. I like coffee. I like metal. So why don't we bridge those two things together? Which is why Beans and Breakdowns is a podcast for bridging the specialty coffee and the heavy music community. So that's really, I was really in the beginning just hitting up everybody. And it was like, if they say no, they say no. And the people who say yes, we're going to treat them like fucking family.
Yeah, it's funny because like also I was hitting people, and like when we got some guests like Noah Forrest from Beerism or like Drew from Kanawaki Brewing, like I was hitting them because like we got friends and all, and I was like, okay, hey, do you know my podcast? Do you want to be on it? And they're like, oh yes, I want to be on your podcast. And every time just like great fun. Like that's what I'm saying to them. Great fun, great beer. That's what we want.
Definitely.
That's all.
Speaking of beer, I'm way behind and way ahead. I already cracked mine open.
I cracked mine before we even started.
I haven't.
Mine's just Jack's Abbey. I had another one on the last episode. This is cinnamon roll, bourbon, barrel aged. So it's gonna fuck me up. It's 12%.
God damn it!
I've had it before. It's gonna kick me in the dick, but hey, whatever.
God damn it, Evan!
It's the month of Peter, so we all deserve a good dick kicking. So
everybody in there, if you're a straight white male, you can expect a fucking dick kicking right now.
Yeah, pretty much. It's gonna hurt, but
yeah, it's gonna be great.
You know,
what
Peter
is your beer?
For our sins.
What is your beer, Grayson?
My beer, I went to the store around the corner and got one from the Souche. It is called.
Yeah.
It's called Kaffee or Kaffee.
Perfect.
But you would think it's a stout, but it is not. It is a schwarzbier.
Oh.
So it's I'm going traditional. What?
I think I got that one before.
I've never tried Le Souche before, but
yeah, La Souche is like we got like one La Souche in Quebec City, and there's one like up north in Stoneham.
Oh, damn.
So like because they are like from Stoneham, and they got like one in Limoilou, which is like one district in Quebec City. So yeah, it was a big savior for my school, for my cégep back in the day, like back 8 years ago. So
tastes like soy sauce.
I will open it. I have this Vox&Hops Brewtal North America, the Overhop one, with Beyond Creation, Entre Stout Et Mirage, which is a stout with Brazilian coffee and amburana. I got that one before. It's fucking great. Tastes coffee, tastes stout. Best thing in the world.
I really wanted a coffee stout. I love that stout, specifically the Beyond Creation collab. It's fucking amazing.
Did you taste it?
Yeah, I tasted all of the ones that I could get in Montreal. The one with the agonist and was it Fermentor?
Yeah,
that one was good. I think my favorite one was the what is it? Warm Blood Cold Haze.
Cold Haze Warm Blood.
That's the only one I had.
It's the fucking. It's really fucking good. And I know you had Crisp Topsy on the last episode. That one's fucking good too. Kanawaki is really killing it.
Kanawaki is like one of the best. I'm not saying that because I'm friend with Drew. I'm brutally honest.
Yeah,
it's one of the best. No, we are not.
If you want to sponsor us, Drew, I mean.
In reality, in all honesty, that's like, there's so many fucking breweries in Montreal. Like, I live right around the corner from a Saint Houblon. Saint Houblon has like 3 restaurant brew pubs in Montreal. I actually live like right around the corner from Turbo House.
Okay, so you live near Saint Denis.
I'm 2 blocks from Saint Denis in the Latin Quarter. Yeah. So we drive to Kanawaki at least once a month, like to eat, because they have really good pulled pork sandwiches. And as a Southern boy, I love a good
pulled pork sandwiches.
I love me some pulled pork.
Their beers are fucking good though, like amazing, and they're really good priced because you're outside of Montreal. You're not paying a bunch of like fees and stuff like that. And
because they are on native land.
Yeah,
They're
you're supporting the native economy as well, which is really, really important to me.
Yeah, you want to know the best with them? It's like last time I got there, like 2 weeks ago, to see Jerry in Montreal and all. Like I got there, it was like 1 pint of beer for $1 if you buy a pizza.
What in tarnation?
It's a bit of a lie because like there's most of the beer were $1, but like the beer that were like more fancy were $2 or $3, which is fair price, to be honest. It's fair price, but I got this one. It was like a saison with like mango puree in it. It was like 10%. I was driving, so I just took one. And I was like, okay, it's enough. I have to drive.
When we drive to breweries, I opt for a Pilsner, so I do 1 or 2 pills, and I'm like, is it?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, I normally go to a place and with good intentions, and then I have 7, and then I'm sitting there going, "When's it close?"
That's why we have to go places we can walk to.
Used to be that you just Ubered around all over the place. Here it was the best, but now Uber's like super expensive. So
it is.
Sometimes I just say, "Fuck it, I'm biting the bullet." $20 one-way trip to go 10 minutes. Like, whatever. Fuck it.
That's great.
God,
dude,
damn.
It's terrible. Real quick to add on that, the last on bands rejecting us. I always found that the nicest people who were always really accepting and always wanted to come on, but there was always a scheduling issue or something, were the bigger bands and like people who have a name out there and stuff. And I was always rejected by everybody who had 60 listens on Spotify.
That's nice.
So no. So that is always the best when I would have to be like, dude, why you shoot me down? Like, we can help each other out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name names, but there's a lot of them.
Damn. Yeah. Luckily, I've had a lot of the ghost emails. But I tend to like, what me and my wife do is we'll find people that are in bands that we like. So I'll reach out to like, I recently had Brandon from I Am. He's the drummer of I Am. I had him on the podcast. Them. Yeah, they're fucking brutal as shit. But I had him. I just hit him up on Instagram and was like, yo, how would you like to come on? And, he was super stoked about it. And it's really cool, like getting that kind of response. So I found that if you try to go through the band, a lot of times there's like a publicist or somebody that you have to deal with, and
they suck.
Yeah, you'll get straight to the spam filter.
Yeah, but I saw the episode you did with Paul Wagner.
Yeah,
Paul Wagner. Like, this is pretty interesting because like you got like those people from those bands, but you got fucking Between the Buried and Me. Yeah. How did you got him on your podcast?
What I love about that episode is I'm sure like 90% of people think he's going to come on and talk about Between the Buried and Me, and he spent an hour talking about his coffee roasting, which is exactly what I wanted.
Dude, I mean...
That's the thing we wanted.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
But then all those fans get on, they're like, oh, and then they're just listening.
Well, it's honestly, I had... That one has really good listener retention. I was really surprised because I was like, oh, the drop off is going to be after 5 minutes. It's going to be like 80% of people drop off. But it's had really good feedback. So I'm really happy about that. And then Paul, it was just one of those things. It's like, I can't remember how we found it. Like we found the roaster and saw that it was, Paul from Between the Buried and Me. We were looking at different coffee collabs between bands. And I think it was through like Lamb of God or something. I found it. And we just reached out to them, I think, on Instagram, and Paul answered and was like, yeah, I'd love to come on the podcast. I love coffee, and I obviously love metal. So it's one of those things. It's like you never know who's gonna say yes, so just send them a message. Everybody's a human. I mean, everybody shits. That's at the end of the day.
So Grayson, I like to ask beer people this question sometimes, but like, to what degree, like, how special do you get with your specialty coffee? Like, do you have, like, the full fucking, like, espresso, like, get up, like, the beads are laid out specific by size and, like, stuff? Because I know people who, like, love craft beer, and I know people who love craft beer.
Yeah. The specialty coffee rabbit hole is pretty deep in my household. So I have I don't do espresso. I don't actually really enjoy espresso. I do manual.
We'll edit that out.
No, it's fine. I do manual. I do manual drip coffee, which I don't have a coffee machine. I have a kettle with a gooseneck, and I do what's called a V60, but it's a pour over where you have a little cone, and it has a filter, and you drip it. Oh. So I do that, and then at work, I'm the asshole that doesn't use the coffee machine. I have another, I have an AeroPress, which is a super common thing. It's really easy to use, but it took me probably a year and a half to find a recipe that I actually liked before I was enjoying the coffee instead of just drinking it to drink it. But
that's interesting.
I would say I'm probably in the middle when it comes to weird specialty coffee people. I know I have friends that are worse, so that makes me sleep at night. But yes, I do. I'm on road trips. It is a struggle. I had to fly to Houston last month, and I packed an AeroPress, a bunch of filters. I brought my own coffee from Montreal because I wasn't sure if the coffee in Houston would be good. I brought a scale, a little pocket scale.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta tell me you got stopped for that?
That I was so worried I was gonna get stopped, but
just for the scale.
Yeah. The dog was gonna sniff it or something. But I'm flying from Canada, so I'm not gonna get stopped. So it's all good. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, traveling has gotten hard because it's I either have to buy coffee every day for a higher price, or I have to make it. And I had to contact the Airbnb to be do you guys have a kettle? If not, you're gonna need to get a kettle.
Yeah, of course.
I'll get you one. Don't worry.
I'm gonna have to go to Target.
You have to buy a kettle each time you go out. You go in Houston, you have your kettle for Houston. Yeah. You go there, you have a kettle in Georgia. You have a kettle for every fucking place you do.
And that was a good idea because I could just buy a cheap kettle and then donate it to
You should invent a to-go kettle.
Yes, that folds up.
Yeah,
that's safe.
Yeah.
You buy a library from IKEA and you put your kettles for every destination in the library.
I just start drop shipping kettles to where I'm gonna be.
Yeah. You show up, it's on a package right there, dude.
I have a package that arrived. It's a kettle.
See, that's a different kind of worry that I don't think I've ever had because I'm a big beer guy. So I know everywhere I go, there's gonna be beer.
Yeah.
I have nothing to worry about, dude. Unless you're there's some places in the South that are dry counties or whatever, but whatever. You just get in the car and you fucking go. You're gonna find something. I mean, it's also very hard for a home brewer to be I gotta home brew my beer when I get there, so I need all this stuff. It's not happening.
Who does that? Are people traveling with their homebrew rigs?
All right, let's be honest, right? If there probably is somebody somewhere that is that's just hell bent, I don't buy beer, I drink my own, and so they fucking just they have to have a to-go fucking thing with them or something. They can't fly, they have to drive.
Yeah, you have to drive everywhere. You have an RV, a weird RV. It's like a meth lab RV, but you're brewing beer in it instead.
It's the guy that takes it's a guy that takes 3-week vacations, and they're how long are you going to be there? Oh, I'm going to be there for 5 days. And it's the rest of it is just driving.
It's the RV from Breaking Bad, but to make beer.
You have to take 3 weeks because after your initial, you have to have 2 weeks bottling and then 2 weeks to carbonate before you can drink it.
Yeah. So they got some fucking, unless he's just going balls to the wall, I don't know. That'd be interesting. All right. Oh, do you have a question? You want to ask us a question?
No.
You can't ask questions.
I was just going to say something else on the homebrew stuff, but we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Please. No, please.
I don't want to.
Okay. All right. Well, then we'll talk about our Lord and Savior, Peter Steele.
Oh, God.
Obviously, the episode will come out. It's going to be Monday. It's not going to be Halloween. Fuck off, I know. But it's going to be it's going to be Halloween. We're recording on Thursday, so are you in or out on Halloween?
In?
Do you like Halloween?
Yeah, is that what that means? Because I mean, I'm definitely my house has like
Halloween?
we went to the nines this year on decorating 100%. Yeah, there's just like cobwebs everywhere in my house.
Oh damn!
It's awesome. Yeah,
Even in your beer, there's cobwebs. Oh fuck!
no cobwebs here.
What would be like your metal Halloween soundtrack?
Oh fuck!
And it cannot be October Rust.
No, it's I would say like right now the playlist in my house has been a lot of like Blackened Sludge and Doom. So I would say probably the band Hell. They have all of their discography. I think you can listen to it for like 4 hours, and it's literally 10-minute songs where it sounds like you're just listening to like Hell. That's pretty fucking tight.
We're afraid of anything over 4 minutes here.
Yeah. So like them, Primitive Man, Chained to the Bottom of the Ocean, Mizmor, who I had on the podcast, his stuff is like really fucking amazing. So probably like a lot of Blackened Sludge, and then like I'd probably mix in some like, you know, crowd pleasers. Like you have to throw in some Misfits every now and then, or some Typo Negative, or I don't know, like Cradle of Filth. Definitely you have to throw in some Cradle of Filth, but I would it'd be just a bunch of scary sludge music.
I would have to say like Bell Witch. Like I love my Funeral Doom. So
Yeah,
like,
fucking
you gotta have
Bell
your
Witch.
Bell Witch.
Yeah, for sure.
Sun
Rot.
Yeah. We fucking we were blessed just this past week for having two amazing drops between 1914 and Worm. And I'm still struggling to figure out which one I like more because they're both fucking awesome.
Wait, last week 1914 dropped?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I haven't even heard that. I've been listening to their recent one before, which is amazing. You know what's fucked up though is that you really have to like check on those bands. Like you have to go on the Reddit and make sure. Of some things.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a name like 1914.
Worm's cool.
No, Worm straight. Worm straight. We're not worried about Worm. But you never know who could be some NSBM. You gotta look out for that. Sneaky.
Yeah, but I don't think 1914 are.
I've listened to
They're
it.
not. They're 100% not. They're like very much anti that scene.
Yeah, but that's what I heard because like I just saw like just saw the title. It's not NSBM, but not at all. Like just saw the title. No, it is not. I know NSBN when I saw it. When I see it, I know it.
So
Super atmospheric. It's awesome.
The metal detector is on it.
Yes.
NSBM.
I love that. NSBM right there. Show your head. Yeah. Show your face.
It's just Varg.
Fucking cracked out.
What are you doing here? And he's just like, I was on YouTube.
I was on YouTube. I'm just doing top 10 to find what is a Jew.
I'm just doing top 10.
I'm
top 10
friends. Bonjour. And he just fucking runs off.
Top 10 what? Top 10 favorite places to like, I don't know. That's anything that you say is bad.
Top 10 Emperor albums.
Viral. That's not I don't know if that's getting monetized anytime soon.
No.
It is not.
Dude, nobody checks us. We don't get checked here.
No, I'm talking about the top 10 Emperor albums video from Varg.
Yeah, but he's got out of YouTube. Like YouTube just eject him. Like his channel doesn't
Varg
exist. I
think
think
has his own YouTube.
Yeah, it's just like his version of Facebook. Like he has his own social media networking site with integrated video playback.
He just sent it to all his most loyalist of fans.
I just want to check it out just for curiosity. Varg Recurrence.
Are we doing this right now? For real, we're doing this right now.
You're gonna get put on a list.
If the FBI operated in Canada, which I'm sure they do, they'll be at your door in about 15 minutes.
Nah, dude, it won't be them. It'll be like Norway or something. They're the ones that care.
They're the ones tracking the NSBM lists.
Yeah.
The U.S. is like, what even is that?
It originated in their caves. They're responsible.
Norway's biting the bullet on that one.
Okay, there's one. There's like
He's horrified.
There's Varg Vickerness re-upload. There's
somebody
a channel.
re-uploaded it.
It just re-upload, but there's one.
You can get anything through the if you know. You know.
It just takes one person to flag it as hate speech, and then it'll be taken down. I promise.
God damn.
Oh
okay,
God.
it's like old videos. Like there's one video called "The Key to Good Women's Heart." What is the key, Varg? What is the key? Tell us the key.
From him, I don't want to know the key.
You have to watch the
I don't
20-minute
want to.
video blog of him being like, "Hey guys, it's Varg. Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to slap that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to make that algorithm right."
This video is presented by Raid Shadow Legends.
Man, that's how you know when you made it. When you have an Audible or you have a Raid Shadow Legends ad, dude.
That's the best. Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, you know
him and
you'd be into it too.
Him and Mr. Beast.
The sword get up. He'd have the sword get up and everything, dude.
Him and Mr. Beast, they're like the top grossing YouTubers.
Yeah. You know, because really he's just super into LARPing. That's really what happened.
This is all my own equipment. They didn't send me this.
Enough about Varg, more about beans and breakdowns.
Never did I think I would spend that much time talking about Varg.
God. Oh man. Oh. So this idea started in the pandemic. You started doing this. That's interesting because that's where our idea started. You know, Phil had basically come on and said, and word for word, Evan, I can't talk. Do you want to do a podcast?
That's your word.
That's the best.
I said I can't talk either, but sure, I guess.
Well, two negatives make a positive.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and then
Exactly.
bada boom. We took like 2 weeks to figure it out, and then that was it. We just went rolling.
That's great.
We just went on rolling, and our first 4 episodes did really good, and then after that, the slow decrease.
That's where you find your core fans right there.
Yeah. Everybody was just like, "Oh my god!" But even to this day, I still look back and they're still climbing. People love that first episode.
Yeah, it's funny. It
People
was
love
the
that
worst
first
for
episode.
me.
It's
the worst.
The worst for me, dude. I still had I still had all my old shit. It just looked terrible. I was like, fuck it.
I wasn't using like my microphone that I have now. I was like just using like the audio from my computer. No, from this microphone. That's what I was using. It was fucking shit, and people like this. So
it's all about the
so
content.
Funny. It's so funny how people just like something that is quality shit, but like it because like not just on the content, but just like it. I don't understand. Like we can put all the effort that we want. People will still like the shitty episode that we did like first. It's funny though. I just don't understand people sometimes.
I mean,
Just don't understand.
I think it's people like authenticity. So when they see like a DIY, shitty audio, but this quality content, they're like, I fuck with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like that
Would
too.
I call this quality? I don't know.
Like when you listen to folk punk,
It's quality,
always
man.
When you listen to folk punk, it's always about authenticity. It's DIY stuff. You listen to Days and Days Rogue Taxidermy. This album was made like they were in the studio. It's only one take. But only fucking one take. So they're just like doing something and they're like, oh, there's a problem in the audio. Don't care. Let's release that.
I wish I could do that. I'm like,
I wish I
worst.
could too. I wish because I'm doing my own stuff and I'm like, there's a problem. I just delete it and I just record it again.
Command Z is my worst enemy. I'm gonna get rid of that.
It's like the episode in Metalocalypse. Like they're just doing a song like Thunder Horse, and at the end they're just Nathan Explosion, just like, no, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. Delete. Yes. Just delete one song completely.
The whole song. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I started in the pandemic. I was I worked in the event industry, so all of my work basically stopped happening because of sickness. So I was just sitting and thinking about ideas, and I got really into coffee at the beginning of the year before we knew that, you know, the world was going to come to a halt. And I had already been getting back into like specialty coffee, and I was just thinking of productive ideas. So my wife and I talked about it for a long time, and she was like, you know, why don't you just put the two things that you like together and make a podcast? And I was like, oh, it'd be super funny if we just called it Beans and Breakdowns. And we were like, oh, that's actually a good idea. So then it was just, from there it was like, well, you know, I love two things. I'm going to find other people who, you know, like those two things as well. And so I grew up not really listening to like a lot of metal per se. It was a lot of metalcore, deathcore, and then I got into like much more of like a hardcore punk like environment. But I still have a lot of love and respect for like death metal and classic metal, and I mean even technical death and prog. Like if you don't respect Between the Buried and Me, like how they're great musicians. So
Yeah.
the heavy music community as a whole, I don't like a lot of the division that's put in place. It's like, I'm a metalhead or I'm a hardcore kid. There's like room for everybody because we're all in, you know, pretty specific like genres of people. And I feel like it's bad to like ostracize or kind of gatekeep, like over gatekeep for people to keep people out and feel alienated. Like if people want to try different things out, let them try it out. Same goes for coffee. There's a huge elitist mentality in a lot of the specialty coffee industry that can be off-putting to a lot of people that are just getting introduced to it and maybe don't know a lot but want to learn. And so that's why I was like, well, I'm just going to take on both extremely elitist communities and bridge them together and, you know, open it up for anybody in any dialogue. So, I mean, I have people who love Starbucks. I have people that live in Denmark and drink insane coffee. Like it's all over the place, but it's everybody's at the same level because we're all just having a conversation. It's not like I'm better than you because I make a pour over in a V60 and you drink lattes from Starbucks. That doesn't make a difference. And the same goes for like, you know, if you're in a band with 60 monthly listeners or you're in a band with, you know, 10,000 followers on Instagram, like everybody's just trying to do what they love and what they like and what they believe in and have passion for. And so that's really what the podcast is about. It's just opening up a conversation and showing that, you know, everybody's just a human and everybody enjoys different things, but there's beauty and there's unification in that because, you know, you'll hear from metalheads that really like hardcore music and vice versa. Like, who's Brian from Death Before Dishonor from your backyard? Evan, he came on and talked about how his first show was Biohazard. Biohazard's not a hardcore band. They're like a thrash crossover band. But, you know, a lot of people in the community, hardcore and metal community, love Biohazard. There's bands like that. You love Undeath. Undeath has gotten like a huge following in the hardcore community.
Yeah, dude. Undeath is sick.
200 stab wounds, fucking...
Yeah, 200 stab. I'm seeing all those bands, but especially around here in Boston, there's the crossover is massive.
Yeah.
Because it's like all those maggot stomp bands that are like around, it's like they're freaking these crazy crossover bands that are just, they're all gnarly. That's not even including like there's a band Blame God that's, you know, like full of hell and all this other stuff. And it's like Gate Creeper, I think, kind of opened this door that like you can be this crazy band but you can also kind of do you can tour with anybody. Yeah. You know, like they did, like I just saw that they're gonna go on tour in Europe. They're gonna go on tour with Black Dahlia, Lamb of God and Creator. What? In Europe. I'm like, dude,
oh my God.
What are we doing here? It's crazy.
What?
Yeah, dude. And I was like blown away. I'm like, these guys, like, they're just breaking down doors, man. Like, I saw, you know, it's like you see like Kubla Khan's another one that before Gate Creeper, you know, they were all over the place, Texas band, so they got to tour with all the death metal guys. Yeah. Because they were just, they had the energy. It's just awesome.
They came through here like before, I think 2019, maybe early 2020 with Amon Amarth and I think it was Amon Amarth, Conjurer, and Rivers of Nile, I think, was also on that tour. It was at Club Soda, but it was like a huge tour, and Kubla Khan is on it. It was like, why is Kubla Khan's like the most violent beatdown metalcore band ever, and they're on a bill with Amon Amarth? Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
But I like that because Gatecreeper has even said, I believe the vocalist's name is, I think his name is Nate. Chase? I was thinking Nate from Nails, or anyway. They did a video together, but it was basically Chase was talking about how they came up through the DIY like hardcore community, and that's what I really love about like hardcore and even like metalcore, and now death metal is doing it like in kind of a resurgence. Is a lot of people are embracing that DIY mentality, and you know, the idea behind it is hardcore and hardcore punk, because you're just setting up in like a fucking skate park or a parking lot and having a show. I went to a show on Saturday. It was underneath an overpass by a bike path. And it was like 4 hardcore bands, and everybody was about it, and people were throwing fireworks into the pit. It was like one of the coolest shows I've ever been to. And it was like some dude was like, I'm sick of not having shows. We're just going to set some shit up and make it happen. And if it works, it works. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't, we still had a good time. Like, you know, so that's really what has kept me kind of plugged into that scene. But I still like fucking love metal. Like, I love a nice heavy breakdown and some riffiness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all love that.
I believe it. Even just from the few shows I've seen, I have the shows coming up. I got, it's going to be Mourned, Blood Tithe, then it's going to be with 200 Stab Wounds. That's next Saturday. And then there's a few other bands on that bill. There's 5 bands in total. And then I'm going to go see Undeath and Mourn, just them. And then it's like Frozen Soul, Inoculation, Vomit Forth, and Sancisco Bog.
I love Sanguisigabog.
Sanguisigabog. I'll never say it right, and I don't even care. I'll go see them too, and then it's like I was trying to get Phil to come here in December, because then it's like the Acacia Strain with Harm's Way, and like they're doing all of It Comes in Waves. So
one night they're doing It Comes in Waves, and the other night they're doing Wormwood.
They're doing Wormwood, yeah. And I'm thinking about just going to both shows.
Yeah, that's my brother. They're going to Cleveland, and I was like really tempted to put myself through the 2 COVID tests just so that I could go and hang out like around my birthday for that show, because I'm dying to see Harm's Way. I'm just pissed off because Kubla Khan and Harm's Way are alternating, so they won't be on the tour at the same time.
Yeah, I actually wanted to see Kubla Khan, and then I was looking at it, and I'm like, it's going to be Harm's Way. I'm like, I've seen before. They're pretty good. I'm like, fuck it. We'll go. Yeah. You know, because one of the things that's here is Triple B Records, and those, you know, that dude's just, I mean, he's awesome. I hear from him all the time. He's like he's like a bit phantomish, because it's like I try to see if I go to shows and he's there or something. He's like never there, because he's between here, fucking Los Angeles, and whatever else they're located. So he's Florida or whatever. He's like all over the place.
Triple B is like a legendary.
Cool. Oh yeah,
it's a legendary label. There's also Closed Casket. I've been ordering some stuff from out of Troy. Yeah. Oh boy, they got some Balba on that label, man. They got Incendiary. That's some good shit right there.
Damn. Crossover bands have been huge right now. You know, like I was pleasantly surprised like last year when you had like a band like Expander, which was like a cyberpunk fucking hardcore metal that they came out with. I was so stoked on that stuff, and it just keeps getting better and better. You know, every time I turn around, it's like you have brand new stuff all over the place coming out, and it's just like I can't keep up anymore. You know.
I was listening to this band called Bloodbather. I believe they're from like the Miami area, from like Broward County. And they had a This Is Hardcore set from 2019, which is one of the most violent things I've ever seen. And they do like they like alternate people, and their lineup changes all the time, but it's like the same guitarist and drummer, I believe. And so They just released a single. I was like, man, this is some weird shit, because it's like new metal mixed with like hardcore and like deathcore. It's really weird. It's almost like Vane but tuned lower. So I'm really about that.
Ooh, that's low.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I'm liking that whole like side, like Left to Suffer. I don't know if you guys have listened to that band. They're from Atlanta. They just put out a single with Will Ramos from Lorna Shore.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Oh boy, with the demon vocals.
I'm high on Lorna right now, especially Will. His vocals are killer.
Disgusting.
I'm excited.
It's like him and Alex Terrible are like the scariest vocalists I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing Phil when I was young, and that was like, that dude just scared me to all hell. Seeing Whitechapel in its infancy with fucking what the fuck was it? Oh man, This Is Exile.
Yeah.
I saw him. I never saw him live, but watching the video with he did with Suicide Silence doing Unanswered. That's like that's a game changing fucking song. I watch that sometimes. Good. I get in the mood. I get in the mood to watch that sometimes. I'm like, God damn, how is that happening?
I never thought that anybody would do it better than Mitch, and oh man,
you can't say that.
It's so good.
You can't.
It's so scary.
You can't say that.
Even Randy Bly on that was really good.
Yeah.
That shocked the shit out of me. I was like, what the fuck? And then he comes out there, and I'm like, doing YOLO. Yeah. What the fuck?
That was funny.
My next question is, so I like to see a lot of correlation. We have a lot of guests on here that are obviously metal and beer heads, and there's a lot of correlation between the music that they do, like the artist in them, and the beer that they like. And you can it's almost like to a T. Like you're that type of person and everything. Obviously, it's probably the same with the coffee, right? Like you're probably gonna have somebody on there that's like, they do like super crazy, very experimental crossover stuff like we just talked about.
Right.
But they don't turn, like, they're going to do something nuts. They're not going to turn around and be like, yeah, I take black coffee all the time,
So, in a sense, yeah, that kind of translates. But it has to do a lot more regionally. So, I don't actually know. Like, so coffee is a bit different than beer in the sense of, like, you can drink black coffee, but there's so many different types of coffee, like growing and beans and varietals and craziness, that your black coffee could taste like just, like normal, like Folgers, kind of, bitter, like nutty, traditional. Or you can drink a coffee from Ethiopia that's super fruity and floral and tastes like berries. So there's that degree. And then there's the degree of like people drink like, 8 iced coffees a day. Or some people drink, like their favorite coffee is like a mocha from Starbucks. So I haven't seen like a trend yet. I've been looking for it. I will say that like I've talked to a few people outside the U.S. That I haven't released yet, but they have a much different taste in coffee than what a lot of the American guests have had so far. Like, the U.S. still has, I feel like, a ways to go in their coffee consumption, like in the mainstream idea of the word coffee. Mm-hmm. But, like, people like, of course, Paul runs a coffee roaster, so he's going to go on and on about, coffee notes and things like that. But then, so I guess yes and no. I don't actually know if I can answer. I haven't seen, like, a crazy trend. But it's not like, Fuming Mouth did a smoked beer. Like, it's not really like the same, I guess. It's more about the type of person, maybe. So yeah, yes.
I think just gathering from your answer, it would probably be that maybe it just hasn't quite taken the turn that beer has.
Yeah, it's definitely not the same. Like, craft beer has become extremely common in a lot of places. while specialty coffee is still kind of, even in bigger cities, hasn't gained a lot of foothold like in every city. Of course, like, you know, New York or Philly or like LA or something like that, it's super easy and common to find. But then when you talk to people kind of more in a remote area, all they have is Starbucks or, you know, Dunkin' Donuts or something like that.
Do you think that that is probably a reason why coffee, you know, because I feel like it's one of those things where it's like you've always probably known one person in your life that's like, oh yeah, they do like their coffee their way and only their way. And I feel that for some reason with coffee, as opposed to beer, it's more monopolized and it's more like gentrified, where it's very much, there's you like every time like a store pops up, they're gonna get pushed out or bullied around by a Dunkin' Donuts, a Starbucks, I don't know, a Tim Hortons. I don't know if that's right.
That's not out of line.
Like,
that's right. Yeah.
So I mean, like places like that, you know, like they're, you know, big, you know, regional places that just kind of like use their weight, push them around and stuff like that. They probably don't get the foothold that like a craft brewery opening up does, you know?
That's for sure. Like I've even seen where I'm from Savannah, and it's a city of like 100,000 people.
Great place. I honeymooned there.
Yeah, it's amazing. I miss it so much for certain things. But the coffee scene there is really insane because we have like a really good art school. It's like a really diverse culture.
SCAD.
Yeah, SCAD. That's where I met my wife. But it has a super diverse culture within the arts, and that leads to, you know, a nice culinary and like coffee culture. So we have a bunch of coffee shops in this small town, which is not normal, because I've been to towns that are a little bit bigger and it's a struggle to find coffee, but you'll find a Starbucks on every corner because that's really what's been around, and that's what kind of brought the US into more of a, what we would call like a second wave coffee, because the first wave would have been like Folgers and like, you know, you just put some dirt in your coffee maker and brew it out and it comes out like poop. But like past that, Starbucks has introduced a lot of coffee culture to the US, and then the third wave is what we're calling it, I guess, in the US now, is more like these specialty coffee shops that you'll go to, and the barista, you know, it's really nice and fancy, and they do pour overs and they can tell you about like the sourcing of the beans and stuff. But that's super important, and that's something that a lot of these bigger chains do not do. Is like they'll put Arabica on the cup or on the beans or whatever, but Arabica doesn't describe where the coffee comes from. Arabica just describes a species of coffee plant. There's actually two main species of coffee plants, and Arabica just happened to be the more like flavorful plant, and it's very commonly grown around the world. But that coffee plant has nothing to do with the type of beans that are grown on it, because the taste and flavor all comes from like 10 other factors aside from just the fact that it's Arabica. So yeah, I would say like it is, the coffee shops get bullied and they get pushed around, but it's also, I don't know if there's as much, like there hasn't really been an appreciation for that kind of thing in the US before, like it has in Europe or even here in Montreal. I mean, there's tons and tons of amazing coffee because there's a huge European influence in Quebec. So I would say like, yeah, that it has more to do, I think, culturally, because other places in the world, it's just coffee is treated differently depending on where you are.
Yeah, I can definitely see in the U.S. being coffee like the 9 to 5 thing.
Yeah,
it's 9 to 5. Right?
I need my cup of Joe.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Like culturally, like is because like in the bigger city, like coffee is more like the fuel to make your day.
Yeah.
And then like a pleasure, and then not like beer. Beer is a pleasure in a way.
Yeah.
Like I think could be that.
I like that. I like the way you put that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Which other places in the world, they treat both the same. Like there's, I know in like Copenhagen and places, they'll drink coffee at like 8 p.m. because it's like a pleasurable experience.
I think I could drink more at 8 p.m. than like in a.m. because I drink coffee, but the problem is like I got digestive problem. So like sometimes it just like comes like from the back door and it's not good. I don't like it. Well, but I like coffee.
It happens. It happens.
Ditch the milk.
Well, dude, I know.
I take my coffee black, man. All black.
Same.
Like I don't take no milk, no sugar, black, fucking black. Like first time I drank coffee, I put like a lot of milk, a lot of sugar. I ditched the milk. No, I ditched the sugar. I just put milk and I ditched the milk because I was like, I was going like late at school. So I was like, okay, just take this coffee like that. And I was like, oh, it's better like that. So I just take my coffee black.
That's true. It's way better.
Because you can feel like the bean. You can feel the coffee flavor.
Feel the bean.
Feel the bean. I love the title.
Touching it.
Feel the bean.
Let's do a song. Let's do a breakdown song. Feel the bean.
Feel the bean. Oh, dude, we'll make it all. Yeah.
Speaking of music, you play drum, right?
Drums is my main instrument, but I do play like other instruments as well. But I play drums.
Yeah, but because what I heard, because when you receive drummer on your podcast, I heard like, oh, you use this, you use that, you use this, you use that. Oh, I used it, and
that's
I'm
like my selfish
he's a drummer.
part of the conversation.
Yeah.
It's like, what's your gear, bro?
What's your gear?
Tell me what makes you you.
My gear is a guitar.
Yeah. But I'm like a huge gearhead in general. Like I've been an audio engineer for about 10 years professionally, so I love gear talk.
I love gear.
It's like my strange addiction is gear.
You got gear everywhere.
Yeah. You're like looking at the chords going,
I hate it. I have such expensive hobbies. It's like fucking drums and coffee. It's like, what the hell is wrong with me?
Yeah. Dude, I'm sure that's like just fucking everyone feels that way. I will say this about Savannah. I've been there 3 times. I love it. Just the whole atmosphere of the place is fantastic. And Baroness is from there as well.
I know. I was so happy that you guys talked about Baroness on one of the, and Mastodon is also another Georgia band. So
another Georgia band. Yeah. So we hit the Georgia bands. How did you feel about our discography lineups? I know Phil wanted to die inside.
Okay, so to be completely honest, I haven't listened to all of it. Okay.
That's cool. Fine. That's fine.
You have to go listen to it then.
Okay.
We basically butcher the crap out of the way they did everything.
God damn it. I will say like Baroness they're like the saints of the metal scene. So we have actually a really robust like that genre. I feel like Savannah can take credit for that genre of metal. Yeah. We call it swamp metal where I'm from. And so we have bands like Baroness, Black Tusk,
Kylesa, is it
Kylesa is also
Black Tusk, yeah.
So right. Actually it's so funny. I was interning at a studio in Savannah and I was doing pre-prod for Black Tusk's newer stuff. This was in like 2017. So I was helping with like tracking their pre-production for their newer stuff before they went on tour. And our like home punk bar, the Jinx, I don't know if you were able to go there, Evan. It may have closed by the time you went.
I didn't get to check it out.
So that was like the place. Like Agent Orange, Skeleton Witch, like Iron Reagan, a bunch of bands like throughout the years that played there. And so the front of house guy had some health problems and had to leave. So I was in the studio and Andrew, the guy who sings and plays guitar for Black Tusk, he asked the producer, he was like, hey, do you know what, you want to run front of house for the Jinx? And he was like, young Grayson, he's a front of house guy, you should ask him. And so Black Tusk basically got me my first like punk club front of house gig. That's awesome. That's Savannah right there for you, baby.
There's something about walking around with a alcoholic slushy.
Oh yeah, baby. Wet Willies, man. Oh,
Wet Willies, man.
Wet Willies is the best. It's horrible.
Yeah,
Don't go there. It's not good.
That pizza place starts with a V on the corner there. Of,
Vinny Van Gogh-Go's.
Vinny Van Gogh-Go's.
Yeah.
Dude.
Did you get to go to Wild Wings and hear like a really awesome country band play?
No. So what I did is I did go to the arcade bar that they have there.
Totally awesome.
Yeah, I went there and I saw some guy get kicked out because he was just being a bitch. And
It's
then,
probably one of my friends.
And then the guy came, and then another guy came in, and he was just like sitting there. And then I was sitting there with my wife, and we were just like didn't really know how to react. 'Cause, dude, there's like nobody in there. It's like a Sunday, and then we're just like kind of chilling there. And then he goes, "Game's on at the bar down the road. You want to come?" And it's like, I mean, I guess.
Games on at the bar.
We went and watched Pittsburgh Steelers play, and I was like, what are we doing?
Wait, which bar was that at?
Oh, dude, that was so where Vinny Van Gogh-Go's is.
Yeah.
On the corner, like if you're heading down towards
MLK.
It's
Boomy's Tavern.
Yeah, it's on the corner there. It's that real rundown fucking looking place.
Love it.
I went to the coolest bar there too, which is I'll never forget it. But Alley Cat.
Okay, yeah. So my friend, I don't know if he still does, but he used to run the door there.
He probably did, because I ran into like 2 doors when I went there. Because I went in the back because somebody at Ruth's fucking told us, the waiter or whatever. Because at the time it was my brother's 21st. He was a Marine. For those that don't know, it's right there. Beaufort in fucking
Savannah. He was at
So
Beaufort?
he was at Beaufort, yeah. So he got stationed there as a Marine.
Right.
Yeah, so his 21st showed up, so we flown down and we saw him. And then we went to Ruth's and then had dinner, and then the waiter was like, "You guys seem pretty cool. Go to the alley in the back of the stores there behind the jewelry place." And we were like, "Well, that sounds fucking great." But we were drunk, so we said, me, him, and my dad were like, "Fuck it. We're 3 grown men. What are they going to do?" So we walked back down, found it. One guy, you knock on the door, one guy opens up. He fucking takes your shit, and then you go downstairs, dude, and then there's another guy sitting there. And then you got to do the whole thing over again. And then you go in, and it's like the smallest bar, but it's like the coolest shit.
I love that place.
Damn.
That's
dude,
actually relatively
the
new. That popped up about a year before I moved. But yeah, my friends are very, one of my friends is a junior sommelier, and he was running the door when his restaurant that he was working at closed during the pandemic. So he's kind of been floating around. But I know, I have so many. I went there in November just for one night. I was visiting my mom, so I hung out around town.
Oh, dude, that's when we were there.
And I bumped into 5 high school friends at numerous bars. I was like, why are y'all still here?
Move out.
We stayed on River Street for our honeymoon. Mm-hmm. At the River Street Inn or whatever.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And they had that bar, Tugboats or whatever. I loved going down there and just getting free shots whenever the cargo ships came in.
Man, oh God, how people don't leave with an alcoholism problem. I don't know how that's legal. The amount of drunkenness that you were allowed to have in Savannah.
It's fantastic. It is. It's insane. I wasn't sober once, dude.
not at one time.
I wasn't sober once. I was there for 5 days.
Yeah. Oh, I imagine having to work downtown. It's it's so bad because you're working 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. 8 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Yeah, and that's if they close at 2 a.m. Because sometimes I feel you'll be sitting if it's bumping. Dude, they don't kick you out. They just let you go, man. Yeah. They won't. They'll be like, yeah, you don't need 6 beers. We'll give you 2. But they're they'll wind you down, but they ain't kicking you out because you're spending money. It was weird though, because in November we got married the 28th, and so we got down there. It was sort of the end of November, beginning of December, and everything was just being up in the north where they were taking COVID very fucking seriously. And showed up down there, dude.
It was so lax.
Non-existent.
No.
Dude, it was wild. It was like honestly shocked the shit out of me. And then I was like, wow, well, that puts it in perspective.
Yeah.
I understand why everyone's freaking out.
Well,
it was nuts.
In November, I had to, like in 2020, I worked a few shows where I would basically fly to the U.S., stay there for about a month, and like float around for my company and travel around the U.S. doing some like outdoor shows. Mm-hmm. And so I was kind of stuck in Florida for a week visiting my mom, and she lived in Orlando. So we drove up, and I wanted to see my grandparents and stuff. So, yeah, in Florida, it was even worse. It was like, y'all just really don't think that COVID is real, huh? Like, y'all just don't even care.
I will say this. They were pretty good. Like, they were pretty decent for the most part, I guess. They weren't... Nobody was ever going to question you, but, like, forget about it, dude. Saturday showed up and Georgia played, and it was like all restrictions just went back to the wayside.
Out the window.
Packed places, dude. They packed places. The Bulldogs are on. You gotta watch.
Yeah, which like my whole family, they're Georgia fans. I'm not a Georgia fan, but yeah, that's a serious deal.
Don't worry, we'll edit that out.
Yeah, don't let my family know that I'm an Auburn fan.
Oh no!
I'm still in the SEC.
Tigers.
I'm still in the SEC though. War Eagle, baby.
That's worse, dude. You should have just gone to like Big Ten or something.
No.
Although they're like depleted.
The Big Ten is horrible.
Yeah, I know, and now they're all gone too.
Yes.
There's Oklahoma and all of them. They're leaving to join the SEC.
I love that. Like, so a few years ago, Mississippi State basically joined. I think is who it was. It was either them or Texas A&M joined the SEC. And they just started working on people. I was like, how is this a reality? They like beat Alabama and a bunch of people. It was amazing. Because I don't like Alabama.
I think it was Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't really care for college football. I guess like Boston College. Like I kind of like Boston College sometimes. And then I watch them and then they play like Clemson and they get their ass kicked all the time.
And Clemson's not even like, Clemson's like ACC. I mean, they're good. Obviously, they've won national championships. But
we gave you Matt Ryan, so...
Thank you.
Praise me.
I praise you. I do like Matt Ryan. I'm not a Falcons fan either. I'm a Houston Texans fan.
Oh man, dude. My condolences.
I hate it. We had such a good chance. Oh, you ruined everything.
Dude, you had it all, man. You had it all.
No, we had literally everything. Like what last season looked so good. Like we had the Astros, which the Astros obviously are still, which sorry about it, but I'm an Astros fan.
Oh, dude, I mean,
the Rockets
trash cans. Why don't you?
I will. The Rockets, the Rockets, which they're doing horrible now, and the Texans, which they're doing horrible now. But like for the past 5 years, they've been like banging. So.
Yeah, sorry for those that don't know. I'm a bit of a sports guy, and I know Phil's over there just trying to wrap his head around everything that's being talked about right now.
Hey Phil, how are the
about college football? And I'm like,
how are the Nordiques? How are the Nordiques looking?
I know Montreal.
They're not looking good.
Like 7 games.
If you want to know, they're not looking good. In fact, they're in Colorado.
It's okay, Georgia. We lost the Thrashers to Winnipeg in like 2005.
Oh man!
But you're not a Bruins fan, are you?
Oh, I 100% am.
How are you and Phil friends?
Because Phil doesn't care.
Oh, you're not a Habs fan?
Dude, here. Hey, you wanted something that really fucking grinds your gears? So our buddy Adamo, because last year what we did is we talked about we made bets. We made little side bets on who was gonna go, like who had the better record in the regular season. Because like hockey playoffs are fucking impossible to predict. So we did who has the best record regular season. And it was between us, Dan, Winnipeg, Adamo was Montreal, Jerry was Dallas, and I was the Bruins. And the Bruins had the best record out of those 4. And so Adamo, great man, made me a shirt. And he wore it to work. And it says, Evan knows best. I'm hanging that up.
I love that.
It's going to go right there.
That's beautiful.
I'm going to move the scattered remnants And I'm gonna put it right up in there, dude. And shout out to Adamo, dude. That was awesome.
I saw the shirt in
real. He didn't
real.
have to do it, but it was funny. It was. Awesome.
I saw the shirt in real. It's just perfect.
And he made it. He made it himself.
He really made it. It's perfect.
Is it second beer time?
My second.
It's gonna get pretty close. I'm almost there.
My second beer is always like I was already on my second beer. It's like now I'm like half.
I have one in the fridge.
Yeah, my second beer is Grande Cremosa from Emporium. It's a sweet stout. It's like coffee. Like you have coffee, vanilla, lactose, and yeah.
Who are they? Who is the coffee from? Does it say?
Emporium, Quebec City.
That's so. Are they roasting the coffee as well?
I don't think so. I don't know who are roasting the coffee. I can bet it's probably like Nectar.
I love Nectar.
Nectar is fucking good.
And Kentuck is so good.
Maybe Kentuck or Nectar. I don't even know. But pretty good beer. It tastes like mocha-ish.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Good.
But it's so good. I love it.
I'm gonna run and I gotta get my second beer.
Yep. So now is a part of the episode where me and Phil have to talk to each other, and you already know how this is gonna go. So.
God damn it! And also,
my God, I haven't talked to just Phil in a while. Oh, Grayson's back. All right. Dodge the bullet. Dodge the bullet there.
The fridge is over there.
What happened?
It was the part of the episode where I have to just talk to Phil in a while. So
because like
we got all nervous.
Because when I go like to take a beer, my beer is not like just near me. It's like on the other room, on the other side of my house. So I have to go get the beer, get a glass.
My studio is right outside of the fridge, so I just hop right out and come back in real quick. But I have my second beer of the day is Sérénité from Sérénité from Noctem. I got this for you, Phil, because represent QC, baby.
Noctem are the best.
And cats for the win, right, Lita?
I fuck with cats.
Aw.
She's asleep.
Anyway, I don't know. I got it because it's a pilsner and it's a real solid pilsner. If you haven't been able to pick it up, Phil.
Yeah, really honestly, Noctem is just one of the best, one of the best brewery. In fact, like in Quebec, like there's a lot of people from Montreal that are like, oh, Montreal are the best brewers. But in Quebec, you have so much good breweries.
You do.
Like I've been to BG Brasserie Urbaine. And like BG are just doing one of the best right now. Like they're doing IPAs, stouts. I bought like 2 stout from them, like 2 Imperial stout they did with Nano Cinco, I think. Like it's just perfect. They're doing just perfect beers. And I've been to the 8th anniversary party with Matt McGackie, and like it was perfect. Like perfect vibe. I love this. And I've been to with Drew Stevens from Kanawaki. I've been to Barberie and Noctem. Great breweries. I just love them so much.
What's the one? It's good. Like the oldest it's the oldest craft brewery in Quebec.
I think it's Barberie. Barberie is like 30 years.
Yeah, because it's another one. It's in like Saint Foy.
Real quick, while you guys think of that, I have Dirtweed from Four Phantoms.
Oh.
Side note, congratulations to Four Phantoms. They opened up today. The tap room has opened up today. I will be there on Sunday. Obviously, this comes out on Monday, but hey, congrats to those boys.
Go fucking support that tap room. Go support local breweries, please.
Support everybody.
Support the local economy. Don't give your money to corporations that have billions of dollars.
Let the economy crash. It's fake anyway.
Money's not real since we got off the gold standard. Give all your money to Bitcoin and Jeff Bezos.
I'm checking out like the oldest brewery in Quebec.
I was trying to look it up, but I couldn't find it. I'm sorry.
Okay, like there's Barberie Inox maybe?
It's the one. It's off the. It's not in. It's like across the bridge from Quebec City.
Across the bridge.
I can't remember if it's in Saint Foy or in it's like I can't
Le
remember.
Corsaire?
Is that what it is? It's old.
Maybe because Corsaire is like the other side of Quebec. It's like in Lévis. Yeah, there's Corsaire over there. There's La Boîte à Malte.
I was gonna visit.
I think it's Corsaire.
I was gonna visit because I was in Quebec City this summer, and that's what I got to eat at Noctem.
Noctem's so good.
The one that's right downtown there, like in like the bar area.
Yeah, Noctem. I think like downtown, maybe Corsaire. I think, but I'm not sure to be honest.
I feel like shit because I can't remember, but
I don't.
I love Quebec City. It reminds me of it's like the Quebec version of Savannah because it's like the oldest city in Quebec. Yeah, it's really really nice.
Yeah, it's such a great city, and also you have to get to Emporium one day because they're making the best pizza and the best beer.
Check
Emporium,
that out too. Yeah, I gotta check that out.
I
wanted to go.
That's not pro Kanawaki, so he can't be here.
There's a YouTube channel this guy runs. He's a bartender at the bar inside of Chateau Frontenac.
Oh.
And he runs a channel called Truffles on the Rocks, where he does like cocktails and things like that. So I really wanted to go, didn't have a chance. So I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass for that. But
Chateau Frontenac.
Chateau Frontenac.
Yeah, because like you just like spell it like goodly. I'm just like fuck it, Chateau Frontenac.
You like
Phil,
that's the Quebec, like you skip like 6 of the letters. It's like Frontenac.
Frontenac.
I was like, oh yes, like you know, Boulevard René Lévesque, and they're like, no, it's Boulevard René Lévesque. It's like what? It's like all rushed together.
So like they're yelling at you in German.
When you talk French, it's almost you talk German. I don't know why.
It's because I'm American. Everything we say is aggressive. Yeah. It's just like Boulevard René Lévesque.
Not to the degree that like Germans are. I actually talked to somebody who was. I forget what the hell we were doing. It was like, I was at a brewery somewhere, and they were straight from Germany, and they were visiting their buddy or whatever, and he was talking to me, and I just kept having to be like, whoa, dude.
Calm down, my friend.
Tonight, like, why are you so mad? And he's just like, I'm just like this.
Yeah,
it's like, that's how I talk.
The blood.
Oh, shit, dude. Your blood's boiling.
It's constantly on boil. It's always at a 10.
Always at 212 degrees.
No, it's 100 degrees.
Damn.
100 degrees Kelvin.
Shit.
Kelvin? What?
Yeah,
Kelvin is for the light.
What, you don't know physics, dude? Or chemistry?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm so
okay.
confused now.
Kelvin
I'm real bad at science.
No, Kelvin is a degree measurement.
It's a heat. It's for the sun.
It's for the light mostly. Kelvin, like you get a light at like 5,000 degree Kelvin.
That's lumens.
Something.
That's lumens.
Isn't that lumens?
Oh, it's lumens. Oh fuck.
Yeah, but Kelvin is a degree of heat.
100 Celsius.
But absolute zero comes from absolute 0 Kelvin because you can't go lower than 0 Kelvin. So. That's where that comes from. Anyway, I have another question.
This has gotten really off the rails.
Oh man, someone's gonna fact check me on that shit. My last question of the night is going to be, obviously there's a whole lot of beer festivals and things like that. So if you had to curate, and feel free to take your time, but if you had to curate a Beans and Breakdown festival, you invited all of these people. They have their coffees and things ready to go. Like, I guess, like, think of it as, like, the Disciple magazine, like, you know, Maryland Death Fest or whatever. Or, like, the Disciple magazine does one.
Beer Fest?
They do like a festival of beer.
Metal and Beer Fest. Like.
Yeah, Metal and Beer Fest. Think of it like that. Mm-hmm. What would you have? Like, what bands would play? And I mean, just like, how would that look?
So it would be the most caffeinated fucking music festival ever. Like, of course,
would everyone just become speed bands at that point?
Yeah, it's all just grindcore. It turns into brutal assault, or not brutal assault. Obscene extreme, like really fast. It's just all like fucking everybody turns into rotten sound. It's actually like I would just go with pretty much all of the alum that I have so far, and it's not like that many people, but definitely like I don't want to leave anybody out. But definitely, like, I've talked to Chamber, I Am, of course, because they're going to brutalize everybody. Between the Buried and me, if, like, I don't know what amount of money I would have to pay, but that would be really amazing. Like, there's some episodes that I'm so excited about releasing that are not out yet that I can't say, but I would really want them to play. So I can't say, so I might sneak them into this list. I'm trying to think of who else should play. Definitely Vatican.
Belphegor?
No, it's not Belphegor.
But they're one that I would put in.
Are they drinking coffee?
Are they in Europe?
Lamb of God.
Lamb of God. So yeah, well, they're tight with Between the Buried and Me, so that would definitely, they'd have to be like,
they would do that.
They do that.
Co-ed line like Between the Buried and Me and Lamb of God.
y'all can judge me if you want. Like, I don't know how we feel about Coheed on this podcast.
Coheed,
but I really
Phil, you like Coheed, right?
Coheed is good on albums. In show, I'm not the biggest fan.
Disagree.
Yeah, I think it's a weird show.
Disagree.
But it's like I like as animals as leaders.
It's not that it's a weird show. It's more like their interaction with the people are just like inexistent.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of that in-person energy from the videos that I've seen. But Nancy has seen them live, and she was like, it's like one of the best shows ever.
Okay.
But
okay.
I remember you talking about this.
They have a coffee brand as well. Yeah.
I love them like in albums. In albums, the concept and all. I just love Coheed in albums, but in show, I'm not the biggest fan.
Doesn't Whitechapel have one too?
I don't know, but I know Periphery does. And actually,
that's probably what I'm thinking.
Yeah, their front of house guy actually has a roastery that he's the one who did. It's called Golden Lantern, and I would really like to talk to them, as well as if anybody from Periphery wants to come on. I
don't know if anybody from Periphery is going to be listening to this, but hey, we'll give it our best shot.
It's all good. We'll just put that energy out there and see what happens.
Let's put this on Craigslist.
It's called, we like to call it here, it's called #AskMatt.
Yeah, Ask Matt. Hey, Matt, who are you friends with Tosin Abasi? Because we're going to get him at the festival, too. He's just going to be thumb picking. It's not even the full band. It's just Tosin Abasi.
It's just him.
Just Tosin Abasi doing his fun thing. Like,
I'm trying to think of any other bands that like came out with like.
I really would.
Coffee.
I would
fucking. Like
I would love to do a tour, like what Matt was trying to do.
What would your tour lineup be?
The tour lineup would 100.
4 bands.
Okay, 4 bands. Fuck. I mean, okay. So I'm a person who doesn't love like super headliney bands. I like giving opportunity to like maybe not as well known people. So I'm gonna put this one out here. Vatican would be on it because they're my buds and I've known them for a long time.
I love Vatican.
And they like coffee and
Vatican is now you said it, dude. Vatican.
Nolan is like I've known Nolan for so long. Like they're my boys. And then
put in a good word for us.
Yeah. Who would the headliner for sure though? Who would the headliner be? Well, he's not straight edge anymore, so he could come on. Who would the headliner be of the tour? This is so hard. Why do you ask me this? It'd probably be.
We don't show prep.
I know. I don't. And I have to, because otherwise I'll panic like I am now.
Take your time.
I will.
I keep thinking of, there's a thrash band, a pretty well-known thrash band that came out with coffee that I'm trying to think of at the moment.
You know who I would probably, like, just because I love them so much, is, it would probably be, like, Kublai Khan would headline. Just because I would want it to be that kind of tour. So it would be like Kublai Khan. And actually, my dream tour would have been like the Kublai Khan I Am Chamber, but I can't say that because that already happened. So Kubla Khan, Vatican,
Can I put one in?
Zabalba. I would love to see that. What else?
I would say Vitriol.
Do I know them?
Oh,
I hope you do. I
damn.
would hope, dude.
I'm not.
Vitriol's good.
I'm so sorry. Like, I am really ignorant to like deeper parts of metal. I know, like, really.
Vitriol did a tour with wasn't it Aborted and it was Cryptopsy, Aborted, Vitriol. They did like Devastation on the Nation?
Oh.
Question mark? Vitriol did? Or
I don't know if they were
Vitriol
on that, but I know what that tour is.
No, I can't remember. I think they definitely toured with Cattle.
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay.
But I can't remember exactly what the tour was. But they're another band that I'm like, they're more of a death metal in their crossover, but they would definitely meld good in that whole thing. Like, I definitely think they would do good.
Are you a Zabalba fan?
As a Zabalba fan?
Yeah.
Like even their newer stuff?
Yeah.
Because they've changed a lot.
Well, I'm used to it. I'm used to change.
I
like deathcore, so there you go. I mean,
well, they're not even
deathcore. That's change right there.
Yes, because now it's like symphonic tech metal is what deathcore is now.
Yeah, it's not even the same.
No, like Shadow of Intent came out with an album. And they're like, okay, I guess this is what deathcore is now, and then everybody just started following suit.
One band that me and Phil actually I can't talk about it because that gives it fuck it, nobody watches this anyway. We reviewed Dead World Reclamation, and they are the new deathcore.
Okay,
they are. They're pretty much the new deathcore. The way it works, it's a techie, very symphonic sort of play on thing that has become what deathcore is. And that's like one side. Like Phil talks about it, how there's like two sides. It's like I'm speaking for Phil, but there's one side, and then there's the other side where it's like Whitechapel and very harmonic and things like that, and Shadow of Intent would be the other side.
Yeah.
Okay,
I have my list. I know what it is now. It's 4 bands.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, this is it because I wanted to make it all alumni because I fucking love that people want to talk to me about coffee and music for an hour. So my 4 would be, it's a weird spread. So it would be definitely Vatican because I love them. They're like my brothers. And then Vatican, it would be, there's a band from Texas that I've talked to, and they are deathcore in that same kind of realm called Crafting the Conspiracy. I would do, there's a band from Toronto that I've talked to that's also a new school deathcore, but their vocalist is such an awesome dude that's doing a lot of amazing things in the Toronto scene, and they're called Pillars of Autumn. And I want them to come to Montreal so badly so that I can give him a big hug. And then the 4th band I would pick, it's so hard. Oh man, I want it to just be weird. It'd probably be I can't say it because it hasn't come out yet.
Put the I Am.
No, it'd probably be I Am. I fuck with them. I really fuck with them. Like that.
I got another idea. Like the bus is the bus from Black Forge. Black Forge, like, is it Black Forge?
Yeah, Black Forge. Ashley
from Black Forge.
Yeah. I was so happy to finally have a non-male guest on the podcast, but then to be able to speak with her was just really fucking awesome. Like, I was so excited because she's a small business owner, and she came up in like the hardcore and metalcore community, and also worked in the event industry. So I was so stoked that I was able to talk to her, and she's
I heard the episode and I was like pretty impressed about her, like pretty impressed. Like, damn, it's so good. Like, I love your podcast. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
I have a band that I would love to talk to. I haven't reached out yet, but like Vile Creature.
Oh yeah.
I would love to talk to those guys.
Do y'all like?
They just seem like they have their hands in like so many different things. They're like all over the place, like big vegans and things, and they have like the vegan shop and stuff because they're in Hamilton, and we hear from Nat all the time about their things. And then they do have a tattoo shop and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I gotta talk to these people. They have like crazy shit.
There's a band I just found from here. Actually, they played the show that I went to, and it's really just like, I don't know if you've listened to God's Hate before, but it's the band. Brody King is the vocalist. He's like a WWE wrestler, and they're very much in that same like ignorant hardcore vein, but they're called Category 514. It is the most ignorant music I've ever heard, and I love it so much. Like, the video is them like just drinking in the street in the snow in front of like landmarks. Perfect. Like the Olympic Stadium and in front of the Dépanneur, and like they're just drinking like Le Bat Saint Count and like just around Montreal. It's the best. It's like, why are y'all doing this?
That's awesome.
Damn.
That's awesome.
I wouldn't take them on the tour, but I really like their music because it's just stupid.
That's fantastic.
That's perfect.
But yeah, definitely.
Right.
Pillars of Autumn, if y'all haven't checked them out, Toronto deathcore, it's really sick. Don't worry. Them and Beguiler. Beguiler is another band from Toronto that's just heavy as shit. They're more on that like the, I don't know if you remember Demolisher from they're like that.
Mm-hmm. So that brings us to the end.
We need shout out.
Yeah, I know. You got
Every time
else,
you
Phil?
forget, so I'm like, oh, shout out.
I was gonna ask you.
Shouts out.
Shouts
out, baby.
Ask you. You got anything else?
Me?
No.
Or Phil?
We need a part 2 because I have other question, but the episode is already like an hour and a half.
It's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So we need a part 2.
I mean, Grayson, you should just have us on your podcast. There you go.
We can set it up. We can set something
that
up.
Could be nice.
It's gonna be a weird like.
I know nothing about coffee.
We'll all be drinking coffee.
Honestly,
it'll have to be at like 9 a.m. on a Saturday, because that's when I always do my podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got some coffee.
Do something.
So you gotta get
do something.
Phil's got easy access. He can get some nectar and like.
Yeah, I can get some nectar or Castello. There's Castello like in Quebec.
Castello.
It's a pretty good like coffee. So
yeah, dude, I'll get some stuff. I got some stuff.
What do you have? What?
I'll get some stuff.
What are you gonna run down to Dunkin'?
Dunkin'.
Nah, dude, I'm gonna get it's Colombian roast. I put it right in my Keurig. It's gonna tell
right in my Keurig. When's the last time you cleaned the Keurig? Oh, man, I don't even want to look inside of that Keurig. Like, I don't even want to see what the piping looks like. It's scaled. There's not even water. Can't even flow through it. It's
nah, dude. When I put it in, there was a filter. Never took it out. You know what's even better? I'll use it for hot water. If I get like a cup of noodles, dude, I'll fucking put it in there. I'll be like.
You put the noodles in the filter part.
Dude, yeah, just do water. I'll just do water, and I'll still get a tint of like.
It's coffee. Pumpkin. Oh, that's wrong. Pumpkin.
Feels good.
Oh God.
All right, we're gonna do shout outs before my head explodes. I'll go. Grayson, you go first. So you're the guest.
Okay.
Come on.
I'll do a shout out. Is this for like bands?
Yeah, bands,
coffee, fucking whatever you want. Dude.
Fucking coffee. Shout outs. You know what? Shit. Well, I just shouted out Category 514. That's some Montreal hardcore. Ice. It's, I think they call it Ice Island or Island of Ice hardcore. It's just a funny joke. Let's do a shout out for there's friends of mine that just released something. Shout out to Orthodox. They just got signed to Century Media. That's pretty fucking cool. Shout out to Mole. They are a black gaze band from Denmark. They just signed a few months ago to, what is the name of that fucking label? What is it?
I don't know.
I
No,
know what it is.
I'll check it out.
Fuck. They just got signed to
Denmark labels, dude.
No, it's like a major label. It's like really huge.
Metal Blade.
No, not Metal Blade.
Artisan Era.
No, it's like a legendary metal one.
Nuclear
Legendary
Blast.
Metal one.
Nuclear Blast. That's who they got signed to.
Listen, we had 3 chances.
Yes, Nuclear Blast. That is what it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So shout out to Mo. They just got signed, and they're releasing their new album, Diorama. It is releasing November 5th, and it's gonna be a banger. So check that out. Mole is really sick.
Perfect.
Remember that. Remember that, people. Phil?
My shout out is Burning Deer Presser. They are releasing tomorrow, which is like last Friday for when you will listen to the podcast, when it would be released. They are releasing Damnation on Candlelight because they've been signed like very recently. So Damnation on Candlelight and Spinefarm Records. Burning Deer Presser, fucking great band from near Montreal. It's Joliet, like 40 minutes from Montreal. So go check them out. Fucking great band. And like it's metal, like death metal, groovy. The singer just fucking epic, and everything is epic. I love that band so much. Go check it out. And you, Evan.
All right. For me, it's been a lot. I've listened to a lot of stuff between Worm, Massacre. I'm going to go with 1914, Where Fear and Weapons Meet. Listen, guys. It was released on Napalm Records. Just listen to it. I mean, dude, listen. I know what we said before. It's solid fucking stuff. I gotta tell you, they brought out all the literally all the guns on this record. It starts out exactly how you would want it to, talking about your doom. If you're into the sort of scene, you're gonna love it. And then they also have what I think is a nice little headway in the middle of the album. I won't spoil it too much, but they have a nice little song curated by somebody else that I think is just very fitting. Exactly what they're trying to put out there. So very much enjoy that. So 1914, guys, check it out.
I gotta check that shit out. I like
Perfect.
I fuck with 1914.
With that said, everybody, thanks for watching. It's been Whispers from the Void. Grayson, thanks for coming. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's been so much fun.
It was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
All right. So I'm Evan.
And I'm Phil. And see you on the next episode. Cheers.
Dirt dog.
Gog.